There's a lady on a mission. Well, now to tomorrow on Extra, saving money on the road with cheaper tyres. From trade-ins to home brands, we compare treads and cost savings. And using your nose to lose weight. The smell diet to curb your appetite and change your eating habits. That's tomorrow, Anzac Day. We'll see you then. Have a good night.
With Bruce Paige and Heather Foord, this is National 9 News.
The Borbidge government's first casualty, Works Minister Ray Connor resigns.
Queensland diggers demand to be arrested for war crimes.
4 private schoolgirls disappear from their Brisbane homes. Good evening. In a story still unfolding, Queensland's most accident-prone minister has suddenly resigned. Works Minister Ray Connor quit just hours after finding out he's not being investigated by the CJC. His resignation comes at a time when his wife is being treated for cancer.
He's been the Coalition's Minister for Accidents. A dicky knee gained wanted attention when he missed a crucial vote in the finely balanced Parliament. While that was quickly forgiven, the Housing Minister continued to stumble. Plans for a housing development on the Roma Street rail yards causing further embarrassment for the government. Then a controversial flight to Thursday Island in a government jet taken by a television producer working on a documentary based on a book co-written by Mr Connor.
I'm trying to bury him and get him off the front bench.
Made after producing documents revealing the flight had been paid
On a further dozen charges.
Ahead tonight, the amazing plan that rescued Peru's hostages.
And the Brisbane jogger charged for running on the road. Former Federal Health Minister Carmen Lawrence has appeared in a Perth court on 3 charges of knowingly giving false evidence to a royal commission. Dr Lawrence didn't speak during her brief appearance, but her lawyer said she'd plead not guilty every weekday morning at 3:30.
Nice and early.
That's Ken.
Sports next. Martina Hinger's injured, Sean.
Fell off a horse, Bruce, and she could miss the French Open. That's coming up. And Tommy Terrific in charge of the Blues.
The Brisbane man badly hurt helping an accident victim.
That's human nature. You go to help someone who's in trouble.
Good Samaritan may not get any indemnity.
Plus curing phobias 90s style.
It just seems too simple. But it's worked, that's for sure.
That's next.
Tonight's Sports Report is brought to you by Chandler's Excite Stores at Browns Plains, Launton and Maroochydore.
Good evening. Tom Rodonicus has been confirmed as coach of the New South Wales State of Origin team. Tommy Terrific is the first Blues Origin player to get the job. He takes over from Phil Gould.
The journey from inaugural New South Wales State of Origin captain in 1980 to coach 17 years later tickled the heart of Rugby League's rough diamond.
I'll go out there and I'll just remember the first game too, and we got beat. And there was a bit of a stink up in the game too, you know, so it brings back a lot of memories. But I just hope to turn the tables this time.
Rodonicus accepted the post in Newcastle, where he's coaching the countryside for tomorrow night's game against City. His only challenger for the state job came from Balmain coach and Origin legend Wayne Pearce.
He understood very much that Tommy had been prepared to put his hand up for the City country and it was probably that swayed it.
Rodonicus replaces Phil Gould, who stood down on Monday after 5 years in the job. Gould won 4 series.
Well, I'll be filling pretty big boots because I've got a lot of time for Gus as a coach and as a bloke. But I'm very confident, as I was confident when I got the country job, that I will be successful.
Maybe it's just what Rugby League needs. A former halfback branded a relic of the past who could revive the game's flagging fortunes.
Troubled times, an earthy character like Tom won't do the game any harm.
I think State of Origin football's always been good. And it will continue to do so, you know, and I think it's just a great concept.
Peter Overton, National 9 News.
Good advice from a former great.
Yeah, dual international. Thanks, Sean. In business news, international oil giant Shell has chosen Queensland for the headquarters of its global coal interests. It'll close its offices in London and Melbourne and move them to Brisbane. The shift coincides with the expansion of its operations at Moranbah in central Queensland. On the stock market, the All Ordinaries rose 2 points on a quiet day, our dollar down a little. And in Gold Lotto, no big winner, Division 2 pays nearly $28,500. John next with the weather for the long weekend.
Then a very special Brisbane reunion.
Good evening. A fine clear day in Brisbane in the southeast corner. Anzac Day will be the same. Saturday should see a couple of showers. Today's temperature is 17 to 25 in the Sunshine Coast. Ipswich had 9 to 27 degrees. Brisbane 15 to 26 and 16 to 25 on the Gold Coast. At the moment the barometer is 1,024 and rising. Humidity is 63% and it's 20 degrees. A little bit of cloud moving through the central part of Australia. That's frontal cloud. A few showers associated with that. That front will move up the coast to southeast Queensland tomorrow. We still have this high pressure system controlling the weather. Tomorrow there's the front I'm talking about. It'll move through tomorrow night, so the southeast winds will increase tomorrow night. A few showers around Saturday. The wind should ease on Sunday, but all in all, still a mostly fine long weekend ahead. Capital City forecast now. Early fog, then a fine day in Hobart and cool down there, 3 to 15 degrees. Morning cloud, then fine in Canberra and a few showers in Sydney and a fine day elsewhere. Northern centres of Queensland, Cairns mostly fine. A few showers for Townsville and Mackay, both centres windy. Then further down the coast, Rockhampton fine, Gladstone mostly fine, Maryborough mostly fine as well, maybe just a few brief showers. And the southeast corner, a fine day, 16 to 25 or 26 degrees on the coasts and 12 degrees overnight for both Ipswich and Toowoomba. Moreton Bay for Anzac Day, southeast to northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. The sea's 0.9 of a metre. The winds will be southeast at 20 to 30 knots by Saturday. Brisbane will be fine, 15 to 26 the temperature range, and looking further ahead, Saturday windy, a few showers around, particularly near the coasts. Sunday and Monday, both mostly fine. It's very easy at this time of the year to catch a cold with the change of season. Tonight we have a soothing drink that you might find helpful. What you do is place 2 cloves of crushed garlic, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 tablespoon of honey, the juice from 1 lemon and a pinch of cayenne pepper into a large china cup. Then simply add 1 cup of boiling water, leave for about 10 minutes, then strain, reheat and drink and wait for the relief. Details are on the 9 line. The number is 1800 060 966, and it is very easy to catch a cold at this time of the year, isn't it? Change of season.
Echinacea.
Got to keep
it is very good, but this drink also does help too.
Excellent.
Put it away in the drawer and use it when you get one.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks. When you're only a few months old, reunions don't usually mean much, but 100 babies got together this morning with their mums and dads to celebrate a special bond. They're all graduates of the Special Care Nursery at Royal Women's Hospital in Brisbane. Most were born extremely premature and could not have survived without the expert attention of medical staff.
It makes it really worthwhile, I think, nursing these babies and seeing them from when they were really premature.
Parents could catch up as well, swapping hints on how to cope with twins, triplets, the odd set of quads.
They're really wonderful at that nursery. Just repeating today's main story, the Borbidge government has lost its First Minister. Ray Connor has resigned from Cabinet. The accident-prone Works Minister says he doesn't want his family upset anymore.
We'll keep you up to date on events throughout the evening. In the meantime, good night.
Good night.
Hello again on this Thursday night. Tonight, the Good Samaritan who helped out at a car accident. He ended up hurting himself, and now he's suing the driver he set out to rescue. The Good Samaritan lost his job and his livelihood and now says that he is entitled to compensation because it was the driver's fault that the accident happened.
It's human nature. You go to help someone who's in trouble.
If he is deemed to be negligent, it may well be that the Good Samaritan may not get any indemnity.
I couldn't help this. If I could have done, I would have done. But accidents happen.
Plus, taking hold of your worst fears. It's called thought field therapy. It looks strange, but it works.
I want you now to hum Happy Birthday out loud now.
Happy birthday to you. It just seems too simple, but it's worked, that's for sure.
We'll have phobias a little bit later. At first, a test case that could have ramifications for everyone who drives a car and pays insurance. At 57, Arthur Wire has lost his job and believes he has no prospects of getting another. He was left with a permanent disability after he went to the aid of a driver involved in an accident on Queensland's Sunshine Coast. Police reports later indicated the accident had been caused by excessive speed. So Arthur Wire has lodged a $200,000 compensation claim against both the driver and his insurer. More from Fiona McKenzie.
Well, I believe you got to help someone and not end up the victim yourself.